Hello everyone and welcome back to Angela's Southern Comfort Dishes. Today I'm going to be making for my dinner top plate steak with bell pepper and onion and the gravy over rice, and green beans with potatoes. Let me show you the meat that I'm going to be cooking. First of all, let me show you the meat, then I'm going to show you what I'm using for the meat, okay? Okay, this is our top plate steak, okay? This is what we'll be making, okay? So now I'm going to show you my seasonings that I'm going to be using. Okay, so first of all, I'll cut up a bell pepper, 2 bell peppers. Okay, let me show you this. I'll cut up 2 bell peppers and some onions. I'm going to be slicing the bell peppers. Okay, then for the gravy mix, I'm going to use 2 beef stew seasoning packs by McCormick. Okay, the seasonings I'll use is ground black pepper, about a tablespoon of this, a tablespoon and a half of seasoning oil. I'll use about a tablespoon of meat tenderizer, a teaspoon of sea salt, and McCormick's garlic powder. Okay, so I will be back and show you everything that I'm doing, and I'll come back at the end once everything is finalized and completely done in the oven. Okay, see you soon. Okay everyone, so today, as I said, my dinner today is top plate steak with bell pepper and onions and the gravy. We'll have rice and green beans with potatoes. Okay, so again, let me show you my meat that we're preparing. Okay, this is our meat. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to season my meat, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with some ground black pepper, and I'll be cooking it in this baking pan here. Okay, I'll be cooking it in the baking pan. Gotta remember to season your meat, honey. You don't want it to not taste good. One thing about me, I'm from Georgia, and my mom and my grandma and my aunts, they always cooked home Southern meals. Okay, this is just a little bit of seasoning on. I enjoyed every Sunday after church, we would go to my grandmother's house. Everyone would, and grandma would have dinner ready, about 2 cakes on the table. Her favorite cake was a pound cake. She loved cake. She cooked all kinds of cakes, and then she would always make sure there was enough to feed everybody. It's one thing about the family. When they feed people, you know, whenever your family get together and we eat, honey, it's like a smorgasbord. We love some cooking, seriously. Excuse me for one moment and ask my daughter, Kiara, can you give me some onion powder there, please? Okay, next I'm gonna put a little bit of garlic powder on here. Love garlic. If you use garlic powder, that's fine. Fresh garlic is good too. I always keep fresh garlic in my refrigerator, so I love cooking with fresh garlic. Gives your food so much of a better, so much of a great taste, much better flavor and taste. And I will be putting 1 garlic clove in here as well in my gravy. Okay, now we use some onion powder, okay? All right, so now that I got all my meat seasoned, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip the meat, and what we're gonna do is season the other side. And then I have my oil on top of the stove getting hot, and what I'm gonna do is just coat both sides in the flour. And when I coat both sides of the meat in the flour, then what I do at that point is turn back around, take the meat out once I've browned it on both sides. After I've coated in the flour, what I do then is put it in here, make my gravy, add my bell peppers and onion on top of my meat, make my gravy, put it on here, cover it with foil, set my oven is set on 350, and I will cook this for probably about 2 hours till it's nice and tender. I love for my meat to be nice and tender. Now, it doesn't have to cook that long. That's just what I like to do. About 1.5 hours to 2 hours is what I do. And let me tell you, honey, the meat be so nice and tender. You know, when I was growing up as a little girl, when we would come home from church over grandma's house, you know, you're a little kid back then, right? All you remember is grandma cooking, mama cooking, auntie such and such is cooking, right? I used to always say, I can't wait to go to Grandma's house because Grandma got the brown meat and gravy over rice. That's what I would call it, brown meat and, you know, over rice with the gravy. And as I got older, that's when they said, Angela, that's top plate steak. I was like, oh, shoot, I didn't know. So again, I'm going to season this side just as I did the other side. It was a ground black pepper. Yes, I love to cook. I learned to cook from my mom and my grandma and my Aunt Mary, and also my Auntie Vi. And my Aunt Rita, Colo Tink Tink, I call her Tink Tink. She cook. She'll cook, but honey, she'll wait for you to come so you can actually help her cook. She wasn't much of a big cooker. She cooked, but honey, Auntie Rita, if she didn't have to, she would get in there and say, well, show me how you did this, show me how you did that, what you used. Yes, Grandma's house was the favorite. You know, I'm the oldest of 3 coming out of Columbus, Georgia. And all of my family, and I say everybody, I mean everybody. It's all they talk about is Angela cooking. I love to cook, and I love to enjoy great company, laughter, love, sit around. One thing about our family, no matter what part of the United States you're in, when we come together, when we eat, honey, we eat, we fall asleep, we get up, we wash our hands, and what do? Get back and eat some more. That's how we do it. Yes, sir, that's how we do it. This is a little bit of seasoning on. Don't worry, it won't be salty because this is going to go in the gravy mix. Okay, so next what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring my flour over here. I'm going to swap places. I'm going to put this on top of my stove. Okay, and actually, this is a Cook Essentials baker's pan. And actually, a baker pan, you can actually use this on top of your grill, in your oven, on top of your stove. And it comes with an inside rack as well and a covered glass cover top. And it's safe to use in the oven up to 400 degrees. Okay, so here I'm using self-rising flour. And you can use your choice of self-rising flour. Okay, and so what I do is to start on this one. So I'll take my meat like that. And I'm just going to flour it on both sides, okay? That's all I'm going to do. And then I will brown both sides in the skillet. And then after I brown both sides in the skillet, I'll put it over in my baker pan that I just showed you. And then I will make the gravy. But before I make the gravy, I put the bell pepper and onion on top of the meat because I'm going to slice my bell pepper. Let me show you that before I go ahead and brown the meat. So this is what I do, what I'm doing with my bell pepper. I just slice it like so, like this. Slice it like that. Slice it about that thick. And this is how my bell pepper can be sliced. And I just lay it on top of my meat. And I probably, now this is 2 bell peppers I've cut up. So what I do is I'll go back in the refrigerator and get another bell pepper and clean it and slice some more. And this is just how I cut up all my bell pepper when I'm cooking this meat. And the bell pepper gives it a great flavor as well to your gravy and your meat. So you get the idea of how I'm doing my bell pepper. That's what we'll do for all the bell pepper, just like that. Okay, and see my onion is already cut up in here. It's already cut up, just like that. And that's a whole onion that I've got, okay? So next we're gonna move over to the stove. Let me go ahead and make sure my meat is floured on both sides, just like that. And you're gonna be sure to shake off the excess flour when we put it over the pan. The oil should be hot. You wanna make sure your oil is nice and hot because you wanna make sure that that meat is just not laying in. You wanna make sure that your meat is not just laying in cold oil. Okay, let me move over here to the stove to show you how we're gonna do this. Okay, so I need to move some things around. Give me 1 minute. Give me 1 minute. Get that pan on the stove right there. Give me 1 minute. Hold on. Let's do this right quick. Okay. I'm gonna come behind this so I can make sure everyone is seeing exactly what I'm seeing. Okay. So that's my oil, nice and hot. So now what we're gonna do is gonna take a piece of meat and you're gonna put it in that oil. See, that oil is nice and hot. You just want to brown it on both sides. Let me separate this. Lay it in there just like that. Just want to brown it on both sides, just like that. You don't want all that flour in there. You just want to brown it just like that. And I'll show you exactly what we're doing. Okay? And so once I show you how we're gonna just brown it on both sides, and then I'll come back and show you what we're doing. When I finish the rest of the meat, after I flip this over, I'll come back once everything is complete and show you the finished product after everything comes out of the oven, okay? Just want to brown it for 1 minute. Let's take a look, see what it looks like. Oh yeah, that's exactly what we're looking for. Perfect. Just want to brown it, and that's okay. Perfect. I'm going to start with the ones you put in first. See how that is? That's exactly what we're looking for. Just want to brown them on both sides. Okay? And as soon as it browns on the other side, give it a few minutes to brown on the other side. Then what we do is, once it's completely brown on the other side, what we do is we'll come back, and once everything is completed, finished brown on both sides, I'll come back and show you how I make my gravy. Okay? See you in a few. Okay, everyone, so I'm back. All of my meat, my top blade steak is browned on both sides. So now what I'm going to do is show you how I'm going to do the gravy, okay? So let me show you the meat first, okay? So all I did was floured the meat, browned it on both sides, okay? Top blade steak, okay? So let me just get this down here. So that's the meat already done. Well, browned on both sides, not completely done. It's got to cook in the oven. Okay, so now I have about 1.5 cups of water, okay? And so then I'm going to use 2 beef stew seasoning packs by McCormick. And so all you have to do basically is just open the mix. Let me do it this way. And what I'm doing is just opening 1 pack of McCormick seasoning mix. That's all I did was open 1 pack. And I just emptied over in here. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do, okay? Hold on. Show you my little thing I'm gonna do. So let me come over here. I'll show you exactly what I'm doing. So now I'm gonna open the other one. But in the meantime, what I'm gonna do, before I do that, let me do this. Let me go ahead and add my flour to the oil. Let the meat brown in, okay? We're gonna reserve some of this flour too. Okay. And I'm going to turn down the heat just a little. You don't need it too hot. And you're just going to let it brown. let it brown. In the meantime, while we letting that brown, okay, we're gonna go ahead and open this up and add it to that water. I've already done 1 pack. Okay, so I got all the seasonings emptied. That was both packs of seasonings I emptied over in that bowl with the water. Okay, so then next what I'm gonna do, let me show you. I'm just gonna stir it up real good. Just gonna stir it up real good. Okay. Be sure to get all the seasoning stirred up. Oh, that failed. Let me get a new one. Hold on, let me get a new one. Husband, can you give me a hand? Toss this one in the sink. That's okay. Got it in the sink. Sorry about the noise. Let me get another one. Alright, so we got another one. Alright, so we got another one this time. And we just stir it. Be sure to get all the seasonings well stirred up really, really good. Okay, so now watch this. I'm gonna sit this right here. Okay. So then I'm gonna add, let me stir my flour. Let me show you my flour mixture. So let that brown a little bit. In your good dishes, you want to make sure you do not use any metal. You want to use all heavy-duty plastic, where good utensils on your nice dishes, cookware. Make that brown a little bit more. I'm going to get a little bit more flour in the refrigerator. A little bit more flour. I'm going to need a little bit more flour. We're going to thicken up that gravy. So I'm going to get a little bit more flour here. Alright, so we got enough flour. Oh, I got flour everywhere on me. Okay. Alright. And you want to be sure, I'm going to add in just a little bit more. Okay. And just let it brown. Just like that. Just let it brown. Okay. Alright, so then next I'm going to come over here with my seasonings. Okay. Doesn't take much. So then I'm going to get my seasonings. And so the seasonings we're going to use are going to be the same ones I used earlier. Meat tenderizer, onion powder, ground black pepper, McCormick seasoning. All, okay? So first and foremost, what we're going to do is I'm going to turn this off. Okay? Now, let me stir this again. Oh, and I also have my bell pepper and onions already cut up. So this is an onion and a half and 2 bell peppers, okay? So what I'm going to do, my bell peppers and onion, this is exactly how I do it. I lay them over here nicely over my meats. Trust me, the house is going to be smelling so darn good, and your food is going to taste so, so, so good. Get some onion over here. Seasoned just right. This is a favorite meal in my home. Okay, so I'll stir this up again. And I got some more flour out just so we can thicken the gravy, okay? And the first beater fell on the floor, so that's okay. I took a little cake mixer beater and stirred up. Ain't nothing wrong with that, huh? So then what we're gonna do, I turned my turn that off. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take about a spoonful of this because it's going to thicken the gravy, okay? Get another spoonful. And what we're going to do is we're going to add this into that pan, okay? Watch me. Okay? It's okay, it's still hot. Trust me. The process is going to be nice and easy. Just want to incorporate all this really, really good. And here we go. We're going to all that there, all that. And so then I'm going to get a little bit of water. I'll be right back. I'm going to get a little bit of cold water and get the rest of these good flavors out this bowl. We're not going to throw all that flavor away, okay? Just want enough to get all that flavor out of that bowl. All right. Oh, sorry, I had to go back. Get some more water, okay? So then we're going to get all that extra flavor out of there. Okay? That goes in the sink. I'm going to cut this back on. And we're going to add our black pepper. Be sure to season your food, because if you don't, trust me, there wouldn't be no seasonings. Okay, that was ground black pepper. And it's just a tab of onion powder in here. There's hardly any left in here, so I'm just going to go ahead and just use what's in here. Okay, so that's all that left. Let's go to the trash. Open another new one. Okay, so if we need some more, I have another one here. Alright, just some onion powder. You probably said, well, why is she using onion powder? It enhances the flavor with those onions, honey, in your gravy, trust me. Okay, so then we got a little bit of seasoning on. You don't need much. Alright, and last, a little bit of meat tenderizer. Alright, so next what we're about to do is we're about to stir all this up. And it's already thick. So you can feel it at the bottom getting thick. Oh yeah. And it's going to thicken even more over that meat. Oh yeah. That's exactly what you're looking for. The gravy is going to be tasting so great, and then your meat is going to be so nice and tender. You're going to love this gravy. All right, so then now we're going to turn the stove off, and we're going to pour this gravy over our top laid steak. And then after that, I'm going to cover it with foil. I'm going to put this in the oven. I'm going to get a towel. Oh Lord, oh Jesus, hold on. Goes over that meat. Look at that. Get all that out of there. All that. Because you're going to add the water, some more water to loosen all that up. One minute. Let me switch hands because I'm right-handed. Give me 1 minute. Hard to do it when you're right-handed. Alright, so here we go. Get all that out of there. And all you gotta do is add some water to that flour mixture for your gravy and thicken it up. I mean, loosen it up. I'm going to set this aside, and then I'm going to go get us some water. Give me 1 moment. This, wash the gravy. I got to wipe this stove off. Wash the stove. So as this go in the oven, I'll get that washed. And so now what we're going to do, give me 1 moment. We're going to add more water to that bowl. Okay, everyone, so next, I'm gonna cover my meat with foil. Reynolds wrap non-stick foil. I'm gonna put this in the oven on 350 for 2 hours. I'm gonna run this for 2 hours on 350, okay? And then we'll come back when everything is completely done. All right, thank you for watching. We'll be back.